If you found out your orange level on the spectrum, then congratulations, because you are at the pinnacle of the foundation prism. This is the first prism within the 9 levels, so there's 3 prisms in total. And the foundation prism is all about personal worth. It's about your personal flow moving through you. Because there's way too many people who are busy out there trying to create flow through the markets with their business or investments. They haven't created flow for themselves yet. So no matter how much they're trying to create the plumbing for the market for others, they haven't created plumbing for themselves. And you'll find every multimillionaire, in fact, every great wealth creator, has got sharp plumbing for themselves where there isn't too much leaking going on. And if you're at orange level, you're at the final step of actually making this happen. Now, just to be really clear, what is orange? Orange is the worker level. It's someone who is actually now leveraging their time for enough money that they're in positive cash flow themselves every single month. Now, many people do this just by getting a job. You might be doing this right now because you're self-employed and you've got enough money coming in that you have some extra that you're putting into your portfolio. But just to be really clear, what's below and above orange, so you can see the alternatives you have. One below orange, which is the worker, is a survivor. Now that's someone who's just getting by as opposed to being positive cash flow. And one above orange is actually the player. That's the first in the enterprise prism, which is the opposite of worker. They might look similar to you, but they're coming to it with a very different radiance, with a very different energy level. And as a result, you might go out to look for a bit of business. If they went out to look for it, they would find it much easier. In fact, often they don't have to look at all because the attraction comes their way. So at worker level, you're going to find that your biggest condition is frustration, exhaustion, and you're waiting for the weekend. Whereas by the time you get up to player level, you're no longer exhausted like that anymore because you're actually now so excited about every day in what you're doing and how you're doing it. So how did you get here? Well, our entire education system is based on getting us from survivor to worker, from getting us from being surviving with our parents on pocket money through to actually having a job. So it's not a surprise if you're at worker level. We're taught to be at worker level. How do you get up to the next level is all about how you now invest in your own learning. So there are 3 steps that will make you stay at worker level. The first one is that you are pinpointing your passion, which means that you are making sure you're doing something at least you enjoy, but you're doing it in such a way that you're getting through the day and you're becoming an expert as far as skills go, if not as far as attraction goes, to be able to have people employ you to do that job. And the second thing is you have set your standards, so you're going to show up at work at time, you're going to make sure you're making that kind of money, you've got that extra coming, so you're fairly disciplined. And the third thing is that you've followed the flow and that you're actually in with someone else where there is some flow, so you understand all of that. But it's a little bit like being in a car where you've learned how to drive, which means you're now faster than the bicycle, but you don't actually know how the engine works. So player is about understanding how the engine works and about how you can actually now market your own products, you can create your own niche. And the first step to get out, if you choose to get out and to get to player level, is you need to, number 1, identify your identity. This is more than niche, it's more than personal branding. It's about knowing that the moment that you become the something, the moment that, I know people who are coaches, who are consultants, they're just a coach, they're just a real estate agent. But the moment you become the coach in families, the moment you become the real estate agent for the East Coast, is the moment that people then choose to find you. Because now there's people out there saying, oh, if you want to know the right person, the number 1, here's the person to go to. So number 1, identify your identity is actually putting a stake in the ground saying, this is now my position. Going to the football pitch saying, I'd like to play football, doesn't help. Saying, I'm the goalie, that's my position, now the team can put you in a place. It's to say I'm left wing, they now know where to put you. So not knowing your position makes it very difficult not only for you to find the right partners, it's very difficult for the customers to find you as well. Once you've said, okay, I've identified my identity, and there's a number of steps behind that, the second thing is mastering your market. Because every identity has a market, just like every player has a game. If you don't know your market back to front, if you haven't connected up with the top players in the market so that you become one of them too, if you're not seeing what's happening underneath the skin of the market, just like under the bonnet of the car, there is no way for you to know how that engine works. There are many, many people who are self-employed who are not at yellow level. They're still workers, they're still at orange level. They think they are because they're self-employed, but they struggle and can't understand how it is they can increase their revenues or increase their cash flow because they don't yet know how to repackage their products, reprice it, remarket it in a way which is going to attract others. So that becomes very, very important, and that's the third step, which is monetize your moment. This is more than a skill set. I have people coming to me saying, Roger, how do I actually sell the right products? How do I make sure that what I have is going to be attractive to the right people? And I'll always start by saying, well, first of all, what do you stand for? You don't stand for something, you fall for anything. What's your identity? And then I'll say, number 2, okay, tell me about your market. How big is it? Who are the major players? What are they selling? How are they selling it? If they can't answer those first 2 questions, I can't even help them with the third one. Because monetize your moment is not just about what are your products and how you sell them. It's about how you segmented the market now. Now you might think, well, this sounds all very complicated. All I want to do is make a bit more money. Now yellow is the first step of the enterprise prism. So you have this prism, which is the foundation prism. You now have the opposite, which is the enterprise prism. This is at the base, leading yourself up now, which means that this is the route to millions. And this is the discipline that we need to have to get under the bonnet of the car and understand how the market itself now works. These 3 steps, you can go read books about it. We recommend certain books, or you might want to take some of the programs that we have within the Lighthouse, or just take those steps. But first of all, know that until you decide to stand still to have attraction come your way, you're always going to be out at Foundation Prism chasing the flow.